Hey guys, so I just did this whole video and then realized that you couldn't see everything I was doing, so super cool. It's okay, I needed to do a new swatch for Opulent anyways, so what I'm going to be showing you today is how to encapsulate your chunky glitters without using clear. My Prosecco, I did the same way today. I did not use any clear dip, so I'm going to roll my Opulent, mix that up. And what I'm going to be showing you, I actually learned from Dipalicious. And I'm going to show you using Dipalicious and Revel liquid so you can see that you can do this with both. So what I'm going to start with, this was my non-glitter base coat, but my glitter one ran out and I just haven't wanted to open another bottle, so I started using this for glitter. So apparently this is now my glitter Dipalicious. Okay, so I put my first layer on and we're gonna just lay it into the powder. And then I have a glove on because I also, usually I just do this with my hand, but I literally just got my hands cleaned up after doing my manicure tonight. And like when you push down on the chunky glitters, you get base coat on you sometimes, and I don't want to have that on my hands. So that's why I'm wearing a glove. But yeah, so basically dip it in, pat it down, and then we are going to take our Pro Base with Revel, and we're gonna put our first layer here, which this is also very chunky thanks to the high beam I just did out of this shot. So again, we're gonna take it, we're gonna pat down the edges and make sure that most of the glitter is laying flat. This really helps, even if you're using clear, you wanna do this. So we'll let that one dry. We'll come on over here and we're gonna just lightly brush off any loose extra powder. Take our next layer of Dipalicious base coat. Well, Dipalicious is a base / top coat, so you use the same bottle for both. So second layer, sometimes I'll tap the jar, it brings the glitters back up to the top. Okay, so now here's where most of the time people will go in with their layer of clear. I mean, I can feel the edges on the glitter. I'm gonna dust off because I am gonna put my Dipalicious. So now instead of clear, what I do, I take my base top coat and very generously, I am going to cover the top of this nail. And I usually like make sure everything's covered really well. Do my edges. And then Dipalicious, what's really nice about her activator, she has the option of the dropper bottle. She also has the brush, but for this I prefer to do the dropper bottle because then you're not touching your brushes. So there's like no contamination happening. Do a couple drops of that, just kind of let it run around. And literally this pretty much almost instantly dries that layer of base coat. And so while that sits, I'm gonna go ahead and dust off my Revel. With Revel, it's gonna be a little bit different because of the fact that it's a brush, so you will see. I'm gonna take my base coat, again, very liberally. My bottle's low, so it's harder to get enough on there. But I wanna make sure that it's really covered because this also is protecting it from filing. Because after this, I'm gonna just buff and file the top of it and show you that this will protect your glitters and everything. So take that. And now our activator with the brush. So instead of just taking my brush and swiping it across here, my brush, like literally soaking it up, try not to wipe it off, and just dab it on once, dab it on again, and it will just kind of run over the nail when you dab it on like that. Then after you've kind of dabbed it a couple times, then I will take it and swipe across. I just don't want to be putting my brush right onto the base coat. But once it gets a couple drops on there, it dries out. So now we're gonna move that out of the way. And I'm gonna take my Dipalicious one, get a file over here. And I'm just gonna buff it like I would if I were trying to smooth out my fingernails. I mean, I have no clear on here, as you saw. And usually you need clear to keep from like messing up your glitters and taking the color off the glitters. But I have found this works pretty well. Shape it up. Run my fingers across it, make sure everything feels a-okay. And that feels really smooth, and it does look really dull where like the parts I've actually buffed up. And then for this part, I actually use the activator with the brush, because this would be your second activation, and when you'd want to be capping your edges and making sure that everything's thoroughly covered so that your nails don't chip. So while that dries, I'll go ahead and buff off the paper towel that just got attached to this. That's winning. It's okay. Easy fix, guys. Nail file to the rescue. So again, just buffing away. You'd be making sure you're getting your smooth, even finish for your nail. And for me, like on the side, I could fill a little tiny bit there. But that feels very smooth. So now again, I don't know why I closed that. We're gonna activate the Revel. You can see all your shine comes back to your glitters. And while that side dries. Okay, so activator, I just take a dry paper towel. Some people use like alcohol. I am not one of those people. Dry paper towel, Dipalicious. We are gonna do a one, like for these first layers, I do not go back over. Like it is just one swipe to prevent contamination. And then my Revel side, I will wipe that. We will open our finishing gel. And same with the Revel. It'll be one swipe, get more, one swipe, get a little bit more, and go right through the middle. You don't want your brush to be on the activator because that's gonna harden your brush and dry. Give you a hard brush and then it messes up your liquids. Second time through, I will do more than one swipe. That's that. I guess I won't stick it on the paper towel so it doesn't stick to the paper towel. Dipalicious is done. And then the second layer of Revel. Boom, boom, and boom. I'll just wipe that off. And I ran down my swatch stick, looking good. But yeah, so you can see that it's got fuzz on it, which is cute. But hopefully you can see how pretty the opulent is, and it's completely encapsulated. I was able to buff it and have all my glitter still shimmery and pretty. And quite dry yet. I have learned that with the Dipalicious, if I take the activating or the dropper of the activator and drop it on, it dries shiny. But yeah, so that's that, guys. I hope this was helpful. Maybe you don't have a clear and you want to try a chunky glitter. This gives you an option of how you can do it. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.